On this week's episode of What's Next Adi, we sit down with an amazing entrepreneur from the world of EV charger manufacturing. Meet Mr. Arth Patel, the founder of Tirex Chargers, a young founder making a mark in the industry with his innovative R&D in the charging domain.
Welcome to the podcast, sir. Firstly, how did you get into the electric vehicle industry? Because I just came to know that you have a computer science background. So how did Tirex happen?
I've told this story many times and I love telling people about it. So it all started with the fact that I'm a Gujarati. So Gujarati people have that ambition that okay, no matter what I do, what I study, at the end of the day I have to do some sort of business. Because I have seen that in my friend circle, in my own family, everywhere, people work for themselves, they earn for themselves and stuff like that. So my family has multiple businesses. We are into gearbox manufacturing, industrial ones for windmills, extrusion machines. We are into a little bit of real estate as well. From day one, I've been more interested in doing something in the tech part. And these are more or less a traditional sort of industries, even though they're doing very well. Majority of our family wealth is from there. But these are traditional industries and they are not of interest to me personally. Mechanical is not again of something of interest, and real estate again not something of interest for me. I wanted from day one that I do something in the tech part of anything, not EV, not chargers, anything. I have been very influenced by AI. Even though I did my bachelor's in computer science, I majored in AI. So I wanted to do something in the tech part only from day one. So when it came to doing something of my own, I started because we have a gearbox manufacturing industry in place. We started, let's look at something close by to the gearbox, because that's how my family can support me. They have their knowledge. My father has a very exceptional knowledge when it comes to gearboxes and how they run and all. So we started exploring motors for electric vehicles, because if you say pure play motors, again it's not a tech field. But when motors come for electric vehicle, you have your whole BMS there, your control, your VCU and everything. So a little bit of tech part comes into place. So we started exploring that. Soon we realized that all the OEMs have their own control over motors in terms of design, in terms of power and everything. They want very specifics there, and there are extremely large companies like Dana and all who make motors for thousands of years. I would say not thousand, but yeah, for many years, and they have been doing it, and they have more or less done it in a very good way, and they are present there. So motors were not something worth doing it. Then from motors in EV, the idea came for batteries. Next closest thing, again, what you can do in a car, okay, motor hata do, you can do batteries. Batteries, again, every OEM has their own control. For example, BYD has their Blade Tech. Mercedes also has something, I don't know the name, but they have something. So every OEM has their own, control over the chemistry of the battery, the technology, because at the end of the day, a EV can be sold. What the USP from a OEM point of view is that, okay, my car can go this much. This is my range, this is my range. Even though, let's say X brand is providing 100 kilowatt hours worth of battery and Y brand is also providing 100 kilowatt worth of hour, they have different ranges because of battery efficiencies, how the battery is engineered, how the car is engineered. Yes. So again, it is OEM centric. They want to have their control over it. They prefer to do it in-house. So again, batteries were out of question. So then came charging, because charging was not something which one particular OEM or two particular OEM were doing on their own. It was a common thing for everyone. Just like, because when we started, we also thought that okay, charging station would be similar to petrol pump station. Now we are of the mindset that they cannot be compared. But initially, obviously, when you start something new, you make mistakes. So we were of the same thought that okay, petrol pump and charging station are the same thing. I mean, complementing, or let's say the other side of the story of EV, ICE vehicle and all. So we thought, let's do into charging station. So we started into the charging venture. We tied up with some company in China. We got some tech here. We reverse engineered. We improved the product, and that's how the whole journey started off, getting into the charger business.
Okay.
And because from day one we have been into manufacturing, our thought never was to get into the services industry of operating chargers out in the open. Because we have always been, as a, I would say, the family, something into manufacturing. We always thought, okay, we'll manufacture and let the guys who provide service, be it. We wanted to be a B2B company. So that's how we got into the charger manufacturing part of it. And my entire ambition of being in tech played a big role, because charging is all tech inside. Even though it seems like an electrical, it is a very much
lot of software.
Software is also involved. The protocol, the Linux-based operating system we have, the charging management system, communication between the two. So everything is again a strong tech play also is there in terms of software. So it helped.
Also, you were telling about how you discovered that charging stations differ from petrol bunks.
Pump, yes.
So, like, what is that key difference?
So the key difference is, initially when people started in this industry, they were of the mindset that okay, we'll have petrol pump like looking charging station laid out. People would come, charge, and then go away. But because of the time it takes to charge a car versus the time it takes to fill your car by petrol or diesel, there's a massive difference. It takes 5 minutes hardly to fill your car by petrol or diesel, and it takes at least 30 to 40 minutes to even top up your vehicle at the fastest of the charger available in India right now. So because of this particular thing, comparing a petrol pump to a charging station would never work, because then what would a guy, 5 minutes you can sit in your car, 40 minutes what will you do? You cannot sit in your car. So it cannot be that okay, highway pe you open up just, you put up 10 different chargers and you do nothing around it and people would come. It won't work that way. So then slowly and gradually we learned that it has to be at places where people tend to spend more time. For example, if you look into cities, people spend more time at their homes. So 8 hours a day, at least 8 hours a day, the car is parked at their house. Your office, at least 6 hours, 8 hours a day, your car is parked in your parking in your office. Your mall, 3 to 4 hours. Your movie theater, again, 2 to 3 hours.
Wherever the car stays for a quite a bit.
So wherever the car stays for more than an hour, that's where your target market is in terms of charging station. But that's not the case for petrol.
True.
So that's how we realized that okay, this has to be a different thing. Even recently, we updated our sales training as well. That in the sales training, the first slide says only that you go and find out places where people spend time. That is your target market. That is your addressable market in the sense. So that is the key difference, I would say, in terms of operations when it comes to petrol and charging station. Tech part, obviously, petrol is just simply filling your vehicle. Charging is a lot more complicated. But yes, just the operational bit, this is the key difference.
Also, you're just 24. So how has that been? Like, has age been a barrier or an advantage? How has the experience been as an entrepreneur at this age?
I would say both. I have certain advantages as well. A lot of places I go, people are impressed with what I have achieved at the age of 24. But again, then comes the disadvantages. A lot of people don't respect me enough to be considered that okay, this is a guy they can deal with. Plus, the disadvantages also come if you, let's say, if I had started this company after 10 years working somewhere, I would have certain experiences in terms of management, because being a CEO, your more role is two things. One is the managing whatever is presently there and thinking about tomorrow. Now, thinking about tomorrow can be done by anyone who is interested in that field. It can be done by a 50-year-old guy, it can be done by a 20-year-old guy as well. You just have to be research oriented, that okay, you read more and more, you interact with more people, you understand the challenges, and you create something that can be better for tomorrow. But managing something, obviously someone with a more experience can do it much better than a young guy can do. So that challenge obviously came up. If I had done my company, let's say 10 years down the line, not charger but something else, I would have managed it much easier than I had when I started the company. So yes, in terms of challenges, management was an issue when I started, but I had good mentors. My father was there, who had been managing his company for 25 years, so he mentored. My mother was there, even though she's a doctor, she has been very supportive. Other investors that we got early stage now, because Gulf Oil is also in there, so senior people at Gulf Oil are also very supportive. They make me understand, they help me grow. So that's how that management issue got, slowly and gradually. I'm still learning, but slowly and gradually got minimized. In terms of opportunity as well, yes, if you are a young person, you can travel a lot compared to an older guy. I mean, I can take a day flight. People usually who are older, they do not prefer taking a day flight. So I can travel multiple places, interact with people more. Again, because I have that energy, I can work more. I can learn more things quickly, because when you are young, you're adaptable.
Yes, and you're open to learning.
Yeah, you're open to learning, you're open to adapting. Okay, ऐसे नहीं हो रहा, ऐसे कर लो. Older people, even though they are very wise, they are very experienced, they are a bit rigid in their framework. They are not usually open to adopting because they have been doing X thing in a way for 20 years. So it's good that they do it that way. But as a young person, you are adaptable. So that helped a lot, adapting to things as we grow. Because as a startup grows very quickly, either it fails or it grows up very quickly. There is no in between. You cannot slowly grow a company. It scales up rapidly. So as it scales up rapidly, you have to be adaptable. You have to be responsible enough to handle one department one day, and if you get a good guy to handle that department, then you move on to handling the other department the other day and taking report of the previous department you were handling. So yes, adaptability as a young person played a role, and as I earlier said, people meeting me and understanding, okay, you're doing this much thing at the age of 24, that also helped a lot.
Okay, you're talking about Gulf Oil. So how has that collaboration been, and what are the opportunities that have been unlocked with this collaboration?
So that collaboration has been exceptional till date. It has been only 6 months, I would say. We have been in touch with them for more than 1.5 years. Okay. The actual investment happened in October 31st, so not even 6 months has been in place. But collaboration has been very good. Actually, Gulf as a group, they did a study by Bain and Company where they can leverage their existing strengths, their brand value, their OEM presence, etc. in the e-mobility vertical. So they came up with the strategy to invest in a charger OEM. And Hinduja as a group, they have been very profitable from day one, just like we have been. So that mindset also aligned very well that, okay, we don't have to cash burn, we don't have to spend at wrong places. Spend wisely, spend in testing equipment, spending infrastructure if you want, but do not spend at wrong places. So that mindset that we both carry individually, that when combined helped us a lot. In terms of other aspect, what doors this opportunity unlocked in the last 6 months, I would say it has been great. Because Gulf has 40 OEMs in their portfolio for the last 15-20 years. They have grown from, I would say, 2 OEMs to having 40 in place right now. So that OEM access has become easy for us. It does not necessarily mean business always. Having a relationship with an OEM does not always mean that you will get the business, but it certainly opens the door faster than if I would have gone just as Tirex. So that support obviously comes into place. Second, a trust factor. As a startup, you can raise funds from a PE or VC, but when you get a group like a Hinduja group, which is, I would say, $20-30 billion group globally, to be a strategic investor, that matters a lot, because PE can invest in 10 companies doing the same 10 things in different regions of the world, even sometimes in the same country as well. That's how PE works, because PE thinks that, okay, if one company fails, other guy would succeed and I would make money out of it. Strategic investor evaluates their best, that okay, 10 companies are there, they select the best company, they evaluate them, they grill them in terms of finances, in terms of technology, what new they are doing, how the team is, etc., and then they decide to do an investment. So that process is longer than a PE and VC, but because that process is longer, the credibility is higher. So if I go and say, okay, I raised, let's say, 100 crore from Gulf, or let's say if I had gone and said I raised 100 crore from XYZ Capital, the reputation that investment from Gulf or investment from the Hinduja group carries is much higher than raising similar amount of fund from a PE or VC. So yes, having that strategic investment in place helped build the credibility a lot. We were saying that, okay, Tirex is one of the best companies. Now having that investment has proven that, okay, yes, Tirex is in essence one of the best companies. Not just that Arth was going around saying it, it is actually happening.
It's backed by someone.
Yes, it's backed by someone who is very strong. It's backed by a strong, due diligence in terms of finances, R&D, everything. So that credibility also brings a lot of things in place, because now when I go and talk to someone for a, let's say, rate contract, they don't see me as a company who might go away in a year's time or 2 years' time. They know that, okay, 51% is there with a very large group. They won't let this company fail. They won't let this investment go down in a 2 years' time. So that credibility helps a lot. That strength that the group carries helps a lot.
Okay. What were the key things that were important for you in terms of an investment point of view? Like, what type of an investor were you looking for, and how was the journey been?
So overall, see, because I would say we have raised till now, I personally as a company have raised 3 investments. So first came from my family. They put in about 10 crore worth of money in gradual stages to ensure that okay, we reach to a certain stage. Then we raised an angel round worth of 18 crore based by of Ahmedabad HNIs. Two people, not many, but two people invested 18 crore again based out of Ahmedabad. They were HNIs. And then the third one was the Gulf one. So whenever initially first we never thought that we would be out in the market looking for funds. Never ever that thought was in place, because when you come from a traditional mindset of setting up a business, no matter how new age that business is, you don't see that okay, I'll grow this business by my own, just like my father has from start. He started from scratch and grew the company to a larger scale on his own. So same way you'll do on your own. But because it was a very new age and fast growing industry, the growth that was taking place was beyond the scope of funds that we had as a family to invest. Hence we looked to diversify and get investors in place. So when we went out looking for funds, 2-3 things were very clear from our mindset, that we never wanted to get into the game of valuation like a lot of startups play.
Okay.
When you are a PE driven or a VC driven company, you do 100 different things. Well, that's how you show to the market, okay, look, we are doing this, we are doing that, we are doing this, we are doing that, etc. You do 100 different things. 99 of them may not yield a fruit out of it. You're just doing it for the sake of showing that you are doing it. Only one thing is actual something that brings you money. But because from day one our company was funded by my family, so we had a very clear mindset that I cannot do 100 different things. I have to focus on only 2 or 3 things which can actually bring the money back.
You're much more efficient that way.
Yes. So we can actually only focus on the revenue generation part of it, not just bearing losses. So from day one we were very clear that if we raise funds, we have to raise it from someone who is also of the same mindset. Who is not of the mindset that okay, I gave you 100 CR or I gave you 200 CR, you burn it in a year's time to increase your valuation 10x and then you get more funds. No, that's not what we wanted, and that's not how we wanted to let this company grow. We wanted to focus on actual revenues, actual profitability, not just revenues. I mean, you can just sell a product for loss in the market and keep on growing your revenues, but actual revenues and actual profitability, the bottom line, which very few people used to look into before COVID. So that is what we from day one went out in the market with, and hence that is what we have found with our investor as well. As I said, Hinduja Group, very conservative in terms of profitability, very strong focus there, very strong focus in terms of revenue and everything. So that's how we found them. So that was the mindset that we had when we came for.
Thinking has to align.
Yes, the thinking, in terms of strategic investment, the thought process has to align, or else the parties cannot work. Because PE investment or VC investment is not a strategic, as I said, it's not a marriage. Strategic investment is a marriage of two people. So unless you are absolutely aligned with your partner that okay, this is how we want the company to grow, or this is how we want the life of the company to be, then and only then you can survive and make it into something big. The thought process has to be similar.
Okay.
And that is what we had found with the group as well, that they are of very similar mindset, simple people, good people. So yes, that worked.
And how has COVID been as a manufacturer? So like, was it very tough or was it easier than other companies?
I would say COVID was from a eagle's eye point of view, it was tough. I mean, from a top level, if you see from far away, it was tough. We were incurring a little losses. It was hard to pay salaries, but yes, we never cut anyone's salary off in our company during the COVID time. It was hard from that sense. But when I see today, sitting in 2024, that how it was 4 years back, I would say it was a blessing in disguise.
How?
Because that allowed us to internally work and strengthen our product, make it more, because we had a less market access at that time. We were focused on R&D a lot. That okay, we are not going out to sell the product. What will we do sitting in office or sitting in? Let's just make our product better. So that's what we did. We made our product better. We invested more and more into creating it better and better. And that helped us now that if COVID was not there in place, we would have been running after getting orders, getting top line, rather than actually focusing on R&D and everything. So that would have either helped our company grow very rapidly, or it would have also killed our company because our product was not ready, our product would have failed, or etc. But now that we have made our product robust, no matter who comes into the market or who enters it, We are not scared of them. We are not thinking, okay, what if this guy becomes larger than us? We are not there because we trust our product now. We are very confident that what we have done for the last 3-4 years have made us reach here, made our clients realize that okay, why Tirex is better than XYZ
So
company.
what is the exact differentiator? Because there are a lot of DC
Yes, there are a
manufacturers.
lot of DC manufacturers, there are a lot of DC charger traders as well now in the market who straight away buy from China, buy from other companies, assemble and trade. The differentiator, I would say, lies in 3 things. One is the tech part of it, where a lot of companies right now has real-time operating system in place for their products, while we have a Linux-based operating system.
Okay.
So our product is more secure when it comes to cyber security or threats, or it is more robust. It's simply like using your laptop compared to like 10 years. Arth is like a primitive stage. It works in a good way wherever it fits, but in a product which is supposed to be interactive with the common people, it has to be, the user experience has to be better. So that's where Linux comes in. It has a better capability to ensure that good user experience. It has better capability to handle multiple processes happening inside the charger, because when you open up a charger, the motherboard of a charger does many things at once. It is responsible for communication with the vehicle. It is responsible for all the internal communication, be it with the power modules, be it with the energy meter, be it with the contactor, display, be it with the server. So the stronger the operating system, the better and efficiently this process can be handled. So that one key differentiator we have. Secondly, in terms of efficiency as well, I would say that we are a little better than the others. We are working on even better technology where we have made a prototype which can give 98% efficiency.
Okay.
So compared to a market standard of, let's say, 94-95% efficiency, at least in India, we have made a prototype which can give 98% efficiency in a DC charger, because there is AC to DC conversion losses. So when the higher efficiency is there are less power losses happening for our clients, and in turn they can improve and reduce their operational costs.
Okay.
So that is a key differentiator. And thirdly, the service part of it, because this industry, the charger industry, is not a one-off sell point of industry. We are not making a water bottle and just selling it and forgetting about the service. It has to be service oriented, just like ACs were 10 years ago. If you had an LG AC or if you had an Onida AC or something else, only that company can service their product because the knowledge was limited. They knew their technology. Charger is just like that right now. If Tirex is selling a charger, only Tirex's engineer can go and service it. I cannot rely on a third-party contractor to go open the charger and do a video call to my service team and say, okay, hey, this has happened here. How do I do? What do I do? So only the people who have actually made the product know how to service it and know how to improve the product. So that's what we have been focusing on. I would say right now we have 15 service engineers. It's not a lot, but compared to the chargers we have, the charger to service ratio is good. And all of them are dedicated. So Delhi, dedicated guy, Mumbai, Pune, Hyderabad, Bangalore, 3 dedicated people,
Okay.
Kerala, 2 people. So all these dedicated people are there who are on our payroll, who are electrical engineers, who have been trained on our chargers for 2-3 months before being put out in the field. So they understand that if this goes wrong, I have to do this. If this goes wrong, I have to do this. If I rely on a third party contractor, what will happen is that one day he'll send, let's say, X person to service a charger. Again, that guy has no knowledge absolutely of how a charger works. He may be good as an electrician. He may know कि okay, ये wire काटने से, but he may not know what the charger is. So he may send X person. And even though, let's say that in that day of servicing he learns, but next day it's not necessary that the contracting agency sends the same person. So that person might be busy somewhere else doing some other thing. So they may send another guy. We have to train him again. कि okay, भाई ऐसा करो. So that's where we differentiate compared to others, that we focus on, even though slowly and gradually, but yes, we focus on our own team for the initial parts of it. So that helps us do the service at a better level. And
Okay.
fourth, one of the differentiators that now we have been working on is charger level AI diagnostics. So how the industry globally right now is working is that they dump the data from the charger to the server and then do the processing at the server level. So that increases the cost of data transfer for the operator.
Also the risk
Yes,
of attacks.
Yes, of attacks and all, yes. we have improved our charger design, our generation 3 charger, which I think will launch in a few months time. The onboard microprocessor that is there is AI enabled. It's by
Okay.
NXP. It's an AI enabled microprocessor. What we want, what my personal and our thought process is that each charger should be able to have the diagnostics on their place. So if 100 gigabytes of data is coming to the server, the charger would analyze it before sending to the server and only send, let's say, 10 gigabytes of it. So the operational cost gets reduced, that okay, only 10 gigabytes worth of data is going to from charger to server instead of 100, because charger is processing it.
True.
And if any preventive action is required, the charger can tell it to the server before it reaches the server and gets processed there, and then we know.
So predictive
Yes,
maintenance
predictive
is coming
maintenance
in
is
action.
coming, yes. So
Okay.
that is what new thing we have been working on. We have done a few trials here and there. So that has helped us even improve our product in a better way.
Okay. So looks like you're very strong on R&D and software.